Here's an update from the KSHB 41 Weather Center. All right, we had a nice summer day on Saturday. Sunday, going to be a little more turbulent, and we do have a threat of some thunderstorms, a few rounds of them, and especially Sunday night. So let's go through this. We just need some rain. We don't need severe weather. Now, there are some spots that don't need as much rain as others, and some spots don't need rain at all. As you can see, rainfall radar estimated totals over the last 14 days. Average is about 2.5 to 3 inches. It's on average some of the wettest weeks of the year. You look at like Ottawa to Gardner, Olathe, under an inch of rain, and you go across to Blue Springs, Lee Summit, also some areas under a ½ inch of rain. North of the river, about 1 to 2, so below average, but that was recent, so at least it got some rain there. And then when you look a little farther out, look at northern Missouri. They were dry all spring and getting mist until this last week. 4 to 8, even some 10-inch rain amounts up there. And you can see there's a little zone along and south of I-70 from eastern Kansas all the way to St. Louis that has not seen much rain over the last week. And it takes 1 to 1.5 inches of rain per week to keep your yard green. And some of the median strips in Johnson County there are turning brown because it has not rained hardly at all. Look at Manhattan, 5 inches of rain, so it's kind of been surrounded. And then when you look at the bigger picture here, you can see most of the middle of the country has had a lot of rain the last 2 weeks, except this little zone here along south of I-70. Yes, there's an area in western Kansas, but they don't average as much as we do. So what is next? Well, we are in a level 2 of 5 risk for severe weather tomorrow and tomorrow night, especially tomorrow night with damaging wind, the main threat, and a level 1 of 5 surrounds that. And you can see we're sort of the center of attention here for tomorrow. We don't need the damaging wind. We do need the rain, as I was talking about. So let's see how all this might evolve. So at midnight tonight, it's going to be a quiet evening. There's a few thunderstorms out in the western plains. Those are not going to be a factor in our weather. And you can see midnight is quiet, but by morning, a few showers and thunderstorms could form. These would not be severe. There could just be a few around, and it's about a 30 or 40% chance. And then they kind of move off. Then around noon, there may be some other thunderstorms kind of scattered about, and some of those could move through. Again, these most likely not severe. They could produce some torrential rain in a few spots, but that, and maybe some gusty winds, but I'd not expect it to be severe. Then, look at this, around tomorrow evening, that could be severe. Right? The tornado threat is never zero, but it's pretty close. But it could be, these thunderstorms can produce some gusty winds and some torrential rain. But look what happens after 10 p.m. There could be an organized line. If this happens late tomorrow night, this could be widespread damaging wind with torrential rain. So we'll just have to see how this evolves. None of this is set yet. There are other models that have completely different solutions, but this one seems like one of the more realistic ones and one of the better possibilities that we're thinking here. And then by Monday morning, it's just raining and moving off, and then that is it. Hopefully your yard or farm will get the rain it needs without the wind, because after this, it is dry for several days. There could be some thunderstorms for the July weekend, but they wouldn't be all-day rain events. How much rain are we expecting? Well, on this model, most locations would get 1/10 to a half. Some 1/2 to 2, a few 2 to 4, and you can see the 2 to 4 cuts right through the middle of that dry area that I showed you there in the Kansas City area, but that 2 to 4 could end up being anywhere. It depends on how the thunderstorms track. So something we'll be following as we go here through the weekend. So here's our specific forecast for tonight. It's going to be a nice night. A few thunderstorms are possible by morning, a 20% chance. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, humid, a 30% chance for those scattered showers and thunderstorms, most likely not severe, but there could be some damage, some torrential rain in some spots and some gusty winds. Then tomorrow night, that's when we have the chance of thunderstorms, 80%. Some may be severe, damaging wind, flash flooding, the main threat. Flash flooding, on average, kills more people per year than tornadoes and lightning combined. So it is a form of severe weather. Now, how about the super 10-day forecast? Well, we are looking after Sundays, 30% chance during the day and a better chance at night. It may linger early Monday, but overall Monday should be dry. And then pretty nice through the week. And there's a 4th of July weekend. Some thunderstorm chances are there. Again, they're not all-day rain events, and we'll kind of refine that forecast, obviously, as we get closer to it. Have a great rest of your weekend. Stay healthy. Stay with KSHB 41. We'll keep you advised.